I'll open the meeting of the DuBois County Council. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So let the record show that we got a quorum and not everyone's here. And then I'll start off the meeting with approval of the minutes of October 9th. They're sent to us. Are there any additions or changes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Got a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll second that.
Meredith has seconded, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So next we'll start the budget adoptions. Yes, starting out here for DuBois County. And yes, that budget was for $36,633,324. And any discussion on that? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the budget, adopt the budget. Adopt the budget as presented.
I'll make that motion to adopt the budget as presented.
Okay, I just made a motion, I have a second.
A second.
Alex has seconded. Discussions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
All right, I'm gonna hand these out. Make sure you check the aye or the nay or the other. It has to be checked, or they'll kick it back.
For each budget,
For
right?
each one, yes.
Doug, you just do it right.
I always double check.
Okay, then I'll look for the solid waste management district. And that is $389,762. Any discussion there? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the solid waste management district budget.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Meredith has made a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, next I'll open here the DuBois County Airport Authority. At their budget, $7,045,025. So, any discussion on that budget? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the DuBois County Airport Authority budget.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Sonia has made a motion. Ryan has seconded, so for the discussion, was all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, next is the Northeast DuBois Fire District. $135,300.
They are here if you.
Does anyone want to speak on their budget?
You don't have any questions, we don't have any answers.
That makes sense, then, thank you. All right, and I think we got a additional appropriation here later. Okay, so that's $135,300, so I'll entertain a motion to adopt the Northeast DuBois Fire District budget.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Meredith has made a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded. So, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say, for the adopt the budget, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And then last here is the Northeast DuBois School Corporation. $13,370,491. Discussion. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the Northeast DuBois School Corporation budget.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Ryan has made a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Let me catch up here a second.
I think we got it in the wrong order. This is the solid waste one, the second one we adopted, we got.
Yeah, that was the second one, though. Yeah,
Yeah, it's right here, I just got it.
is that right?
Yeah, it says solid waste management district, yeah.
Well, they're all,
I mean, we all approved it, so it's no big deal, but.
Okay.
I just.
Right. This is the ordinance that's gonna go with the salary, with the budget on the minutes. So it's ordinance 2025.
Just that, just
do
one.
we have to,
Because we're not in there
It's
yet.
not there yet.
That's where we always do the budget one first and then,
that gets approved separately, right?
well, I have it for you to sign if you wanna do it. But it will be in the minutes
Okay.
the next time.
And I think we got a hard start.
I sent this to you
Yes.
with draft. Today we did some final tweaking and
Okay. Did anything change since the draft?
I don't think so. I think we just took some names off. We had people's names and
Do we get a hard copy as council?
I can give you.
Isn't that what you sent us?
I sent you this in draft form. Today we still did some.
Yeah, I
tweaking.
got it. I just wondered, for our records.
Well, we'll give you a updated budget book when we're finished. We'll get you that.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that might be
better.
better.
Where's that? 633 324.
It was on this sheet that I gave you last time.
Okay, so
I printed off all that stuff, and I forgot to bring it, so.
would we want to approve that? Is the budget?
It's the budget, I mean, in the salary ordinances. And like I said, we'll put it in the minutes next time, but if you want to go ahead and do it now, I can
We
do
can
that.
approve it right now.
And then we'll just add it to the budget like an ordinance.
Did anybody notice any changes in the budget that was sent out?
That's probably pretty detailed, I mean, it's.
I reviewed it and I didn't go line
Line by line, you know?
Well, we've proved it like 3 times in the office, so.
Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion to approve the budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget.
Okay, Alex has made a motion.
To do this ordinance 2025.
Ordinance 2025.
I'll second that.
So further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Okay, so I'm gonna let you-
Yeah, I guess we got the budgets over with, so move on to other things. Okay, then, the next thing here on the agenda, Northeast DuBois School additional appropriation of $231,000. And, the general's $131,000, the special Cume fire is $100,000. Would you want to explain that to us, or
Yeah,
do we have,
Okay.
you want to make any comments on it?
yeah.
The additional appropriation
You
is
just wanna make
going
one,
to
that's
the
what-
new jet, new truck,
The line.
the new chassis, and the, we are going to be taking those bed off the older truck and put it on this new chassis.
Okay,
It's like $175,000 for the new chassis and $125,000 for the, to switch it over,
okay.
remanufacture the bed.
Does anybody have any questions on that, or
This makes sense.
so it's just a matter of, I guess I'll make a motion to approve that additional appropriation for $231,000.
I'll second that.
I have two different funds, I need two different.
Okay, so the first one is the general fund of $131,000. So we can have a motion on that one.
I'm good.
Dina has made a motion, and the second,
I'll second.
and the second Meredith.
Sandy,
So again,
I think I was a
General discussion.
of the general fund.
I had, you had 131 in the general and 100 in the,
And, 121 of the general, and,
so you want them to go lower? We can go lower.
and 100 out of the Q fund, and 121 is what I have.
Okay, he's wanting one, she said she wants 121 instead of 131.
okay,
We can go lower.
okay.
Yeah. I just want to get it corrected because
It's
I
fine,
didn't know.
I can do that.
Okay.
Want me to make a
Yeah,
motion to amend
So it's,
that motion to 121?
right, make the, out of the general fund, additional appropriation out of the general fund, $121,000. So you made a motion
To amend it.
no, we just dropped that out.
You didn't pass
First
it.
one,
Okay, so yes, then I would make the motion then for the 121.
so then we did a second, so we need a second.
So-
Second,
Okay,
Now it's Ryan.
Ryan, me, on 121, we never got any further on the first one. 121.
Okay, now further discussion. Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, so the 121 on the general. Then the special cum cap is 100,000. Okay. So again, discussion on that or questions?
I got one question about the air conditioner. Did that all work out how we wanted it to?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I just remember we had to do a little modification, how we set that up for those guys with the new building.
And we,
Worked out real well.
okay,
Okay, good.
no complaints, especially the last few nights, huh? Okay, all right, so there's no other questions. I'll entertain a motion for $100,000 out of special cum for our.
I'll move.
Okay, Dina has made a motion. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, so thank you for coming in tonight also. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on. Amy, are you ready? Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Amy Kippenbrock, County Clerk, here to talk about election salary amendment. Sent you an email, and Sandy and I worked together on writing up the right paperwork. What it amounts to is when the clerk's office works on election hours, they were getting paid less than what their regular, slightly less than what their regular pay is. And I want to bring that pay for those hours up to the same pay that they get for their clerk work. There's enough money in the fund to cover the difference in the amount of money that I'm asking to pay out for their wages. I just want to set it so we can pay them appropriately.
I spoke with Amy a few times about this, so I don't have any questions. So I can open it up to the floor here.
That's me.
Everybody okay? Everyone's real well.
So we did make it so that the full-time deputy clerks can make a maximum of $25.09 per hour. That's the first deputy, and the second deputy is $24.44 per hour. The third, fourth, and fifth are $23.95 per hour. And then the clerical assistants that are part-time seasonal will just be the $20 max that we already had.
Just kind of defining out those roles so it's not abused in any way whenever we do have payroll. Like we don't just set it, but the max is, and then I pay everybody that max rate. Okay. I just want to make them get their regular, what they're equal to their regular pay.
Okay, any other discussion, any questions for Amy? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve the salary ordinance
I'll
for
make
the
that
clerk
motion.
for the general election. Okay, Sonia has made a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
Dina has seconded. Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
That was short and sweet.
Have a good night.
Okay. We're up to this, we're up, Sheriff, on out there, you up?
Yep.
You ready?
Tom Kleinhelper, Sheriff. I had emailed you about some special appropriations for tonight. I'm asking, hopefully this will be enough to get us through the remainder of the year. $60,000 into utilities, and $40,000 into medical. The medical, just really no rhyme or reason why we have so many medical bills this year, but we do. And we kind of figured, going by what we have paid already this year, that we should probably be at 40,000 should get us through the remainder of the year. Utilities, I know we spoke about that during the budget hearing, and since we took on the new part of the jail, the pod, our utilities went up. They're about $25,000 a month. I still am not real sure exactly what all we're paying that used to be corrections, or how that's all been divided. I don't know if we'll ever know for certain what that is. I don't know.
They have a meter separate, I can't even answer that.
So, but
I think corrections has their own. I went down.
they do, but
Look,
I know that we're sharing different things, so I'm not 100% sure how that all played out at the end.
yeah, because we know, I mean, with 911 moving in there, it's probably gonna go up more.
Mhm.
I just had pulled to try, we figured out what they were using just to see, so we budgeted correctly for next year. And I feel like we hit it head on. I feel good
Yeah.
about that. We guessed.
Right.
It's
It was a
like,
guess.
It was more than I thought, but I feel good where it is next year.
Okay.
But I don't know that we'll ever know.
Right.
And I don't know that, I mean, as far as 911 and others using the energy, we just got a budget for it. Which I think we're good.
There was also one other special appropriation I might ask for Sandy and Ray Suss's help on this. When we traded the cars in,
He probably knows way more than I know, but.
Chief Honors, Chief Deputy. So when we traded the vehicles in, we got back 14,000 and some change. I think it was like 14,500 around that time. But whenever we got the money back, instead of going back into that line item or account of the new vehicles, it actually went back into
It goes back to QCAP,
QCAP.
where it was bought.
So in order to get that money back, appropriated back to us, then you have to reappropriate it so I can finish outfitting the vehicles. That should get me more than enough to finish outfitting the rest of the vehicles, and that should be pretty much that.
Did you sell vehicles with the equipment in it, or what?
No, we took the equipment out of it.
Okay, so wasn't that transferred into a new vehicle?
Some of the parts were. Some of the stuff are transferable, some of them are outdated and stuff. So we essentially take whatever we can use from these two pieces and put into a new vehicle. A radar that's 7 to 14 years old is not going to be as calibrated or as good as a new one and stuff. So we try to use a lot of the parts that we can and stuff, but some stuff is just, you just can't use it. It's just at a time. It's just got to be more it's not going to be cost effective to use it with the repairs, the updating, and then just to in a year find out that, nope, you got to replace the whole thing again.
we also need to pay, obviously, to get it removed from the car and then put back in the new car, so. And typically, when we trade them, it's just a wash. We just pay that out of the line item that was in there, but selling them and not trading them in this year, just kind of put that, where that money went back to CUMCAP instead of us having the ability to have it to pay off.
Okay. So I guess the question would be 14,000, is that enough to do the vehicle that you want, or are we
Yes,
just
sir.
transferring the even amount just to?
No, 14 and a half will be enough to finish the vehicles.
Okay. Okay, I'll open up for any questions or for the sheriff on those items. Would we have to make a motion for each one of these to advertise?
You can't really do a motion because they have not been advertised.
I mean, sure.
Consensus to advertise, and then you can do it however you want. If you're gonna go with the 60, 40, and then 14, or if you wanna,
I mean, we can do it all as a lump sum, and then you can break it out when we appropriate it, right?
well, I'll do it for what he's asking. If I advertise 60,000, it'll be for utilities. I'll advertise 40 for medical. And then the 14, that would be the question. The 14, do you want it to come out of CUME funds, or do you want it to come out of county general, where the other two come out of? Because to me, we put the 14 in CUME cap where the vehicles were,
I think it'll come back out of CUME cap then.
so that would be two separate different funds.
Okay, is everybody open? Anybody got any issues with one of those expenditures?
No, did you guys ever have any issues with the Durangos like the state police had?
Not the exact same with the state police, but we are
How does-
experiencing some issues.
Hopefully they won't be too expensive.
Yeah. It's, we're investigating other options at this point from the amount that we've had, so.
So far, some of the bigger stuff, some of the bigger problems that we've had, them, they've still been under warranty, so they've kind of been taking care of itself in that aspect.
Okay, any other questions for the sheriff? Otherwise, I guess I'll see a show of hands that, to approve all three of those items.
So I have 60,000, 40,000, and 14.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Is that all you had tonight?
Just one other question. I know that I had, put in some new positions for the budget, and I haven't heard anything on the budget, but do you know where that kind of stands as we go into next year? 2 positions were approved by the commissioners last year, so I didn't know where they stood. If we can, I think last year when we talked about it, and we didn't get the grant, it was determined to ask again for the grant, which we did and got denied, so I didn't know if those were something that you wanted to take up separately, or if you know where you stand on the positions that we had asked for, so that we can start moving forward, or where we stand on all that.
I have a quick question for you on the letter, about the grant that was denied. There were, 2 links in there to follow up and find out where you were with the grant, or improvements, or where you stood with the grant. Has anybody followed up on those by chance?
I know Jesus was going to, or we had talked about it, but, I mean, this is 2 years in a row we've been denied,
Right,
so,
third time's a charm.
but we were also, we've been running with the same manpower for several years, and it's just been kicked down the road, so I think it's time to make a decision whether we're going to approve them or not approve them.
Well, we added 2 new deputies, last year, right?
One.
And we had the social worker deputy, and we.
Yeah, social worker deputy is, yes, I understand, that's 2
There's 2 new
deputies.
deputies, right, with vehicles and equipment and everything, so I mean, we added 2, so you can't say it's been that many years down the road, it was last year, so. This, I did some research and I didn't get a real good answer. I put an email out because I wanted to see what the thought was behind the commissions. And I think that I only got one response. We have to look into it more, but I don't know if I think they were thinking it's contingent on that COPS grant also. So we need to do more research there. I'm probably not ready to make a decision.
Oh, I actually went to the commissioners after that to make sure that it wasn't contingent, and that's when they said they weren't. So I came back here in January to ask for you to fund them because it was not contingent. And that's when Councilman Schmidt said that he wanted to apply for the grant again. So that's why we did that. So my understanding, and I'm sure that you can find them in the minutes, it was not contingent. It was, I specifically went back to the commissioners to make sure that it wasn't. The council put it in their budget that it was contingent on the grant, but the commissioners did not.
Okay.
But either or, I mean, the budget has been turned in. Is it something that is going to be funded in the budget?
Well, when we funded it, it is in the budget, I think. It's just that when we did that, my thinking anyway was that it would only be a partial funding. Now we have to come up with more money because now we have to pay for everything. We didn't get the grant.
Correct.
So that's where I stand with it. I don't know if anybody else got any comments on it, but
I just remember some discussion on the number of officers. I thought we were gonna always do some, whether we got the grant or not. But I think if we would have got the grant, this is what I remember, that we would have done maybe one or two more. That's the way I remember. But correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while. I haven't read those minutes from that meeting.
So
I thought we were always gonna add some, the way I took it. But I don't remember the number, one or two.
I looked up the minutes for the commissioners meeting back in July 3rd, and it said, following discussion, a motion was made to approve the 2 positions partially funded using the COPS hiring program grant for 2024. And then the 3rd position was denied. And the minutes were approved in the following meeting. So that was the language. So that was my question, that it looked like the commissioners were making that approval that would be partially funded, and the grant didn't come through. So my question was, it's kind of a 2-part. Do we have enough money that would make up the difference with those grants? How much were those grants for, by the way?
It was a stair-step grant, so it was 75,000, 50,000, 25, or 75%, 50%, 25%.
Is that 3 years graduated down?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I was just confused. I wasn't part of this at that particular time, so I'm trying to catch up with that.
It basically funded it for a year and a half.
So to speak,
Overall,
yes.
throughout 3 years. Basically
Throughout the 3 years.
A year and a half, and then we would be responsible for the continued full cost after the 3 years.
any other comments or? My only worry here, we just added 4 new jailers. We added two new courthouse security people, officers. And we just finished about a $20+ million security center renovation in addition to the jail. So, I think we better take a better look at it. Maybe we need another month to look at it. Even if we would go, it probably wouldn't come into effective until 2025.
Right.
Anyway, so
Just obviously, we can't just go up to somebody and ask them if they want a job. There's a process, and so we'll try to get ahead of the game a little bit.
I'm aware that
Start
other
process.
departments are hiring too. The city of Jasper's hiring, Ferdinand, they're down 2?
Ferdinand's down
3.
3 or 4, yeah.
Really now? Wow.
Jasper, I just had a conversation with a couple of their officers today. I think they're going through a process now. They're 6 short. So.
I don't know, any other comments? Otherwise, somebody want to make a motion, otherwise I'd rather table it here for another month and look and try to study the budget a little bit better.
I would say, well, we need to do some more research. I was under the impression it was contingent on the COPS grant, so I think it would be
So-
prudent to do some more research and just make sure.
I guess in theory, just so we don't have 4 or 6 positions created. I think we've proven that the need for me has been showing that it's there. I just don't want to have us somehow approve 6 positions because of summer contingent. I just would love to clean it up and then be able to tell you so you can plan that it's in the budget is my thoughts. I think we've proven it. We've applied for a grant twice for a year and a half. But I think it would be, let's just confirm with the commissioners, would be my thoughts. And then go from there.
Yeah, I talked with Jesus for a while the other weekend about this, and I see the need and I support the addition of some new positions. It's just, are we going to put ourselves in a bad situation where we next time don't get it because we've already added the positions? And I don't want to keep pushing and kicking the can down the road like you're saying. I don't think we've been doing that. I think we've been trying to pursue the avenues that we have. And I think, like Jesus said, what was it? Perry Petersburg, they got it, so hopefully we can kind of coordinate with them and see what they're doing differently and maybe get some more next year
I do
as
have a
well.
response to that. Remember how we talked briefly, Jesus, about the Region 15? They actually did do that grant on their behalf.
Region 15 did go to that.
They did, yeah. But that was another kind of tagging on also what Dina said. I wish we knew more of those reasons why. It's like, I hate to wonder, like, did they say, hey, they've already got too many? You know what I mean? And is that why we're being kicked out of the running altogether? I mean, yeah, I hate for
I think you
people
look
to keep
at-
applying for it and just keep getting knocked out of it, you know?
You look at places like Fort Wayne that are just ginormous departments, and it's like, I don't know what the formula is. I don't know what the metric sauce is, so, yeah.
Like I
That's all
said,
I can get.
you know, maybe we can coordinate with them or something like that, but I also feel that, you know, there is a need and, you know, we just need to figure out, and I said I was gonna look at the budget, kind of analyze more, I just need a little more time actually to kind of look at it more, but I do feel that, you know, at least one position at any time could be something that we can look at towards the end of the year, maybe next month or something like that. So, not totally disregarding you guys or throwing it to the wayside or anything like that. I don't want you guys to think that at all. I just want to make sure that we're able to sustain it after things go away. And because we have in the last several years added multiple positions, and it has affected the budget. So we just need to make sure that we don't put ourselves in a bad situation in the future. So we don't want the future council people to be left with a big old mess that they have to find a way to clean up and be the bad guys in whatever situation we put them in. I don't want to do that for future council. And I know we need to address your issues as well. So the balance there, I just think we need to kind of work on that. It's our job to work on it. We need to keep working on it. So, but we don't.
All right.
All right, so we'll just table it until the November meeting, if you can get on the agenda again, I appreciate it.
Sure.
So, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, then the next discussion here is the moratorium, ordinance number 2024-16, moratorium on tax abatement for commercial solar development. So earlier this month, I'm sorry, we discussed it, and I think we changed it to a 36-month moratorium. I don't think the language of anything else was changed. So I guess you want to discuss it a little more, or you want to, so we want to just go ahead and somebody make a motion, we approve it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll make the motion to approve it. I thought we had a good discussion last meeting. It would be the least that I would want to do, but you know, the 3 years is, I think, reasonable, and you brought up good points about the process and time it takes. You know, as the ordinance reads, these developments for most people, the blight that it'll cause is not popular, and for taxpayers to subsidize a tax abatement for these companies is even less popular. So I think it's a good, the ordinance is very well suited for this county.
Okay,
Second.
Okay, got a first and a second for the discussion. You're welcome.
I made a motion.
Okay, so we got a second, so any other discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, so it carries. Next thing on the agenda, we discussion regional sewer district appointment. Dean Lewis, I sent something out in an email. I think she's fully qualified to represent the council on this regional sewer district. I hadn't heard from anyone else that was interested in it. So does anyone else want to ask Dean any questions? We've got another meeting tomorrow night, which I plan on attending, and just to stay in, it's more training for this board, or this sewer district board that I'm going to sit in on anyways, just to keep up with it. Because we did lose another, the commission has lost a member decided to get off of it. It just seems like it was too much time and too much, that he wasn't, it was more than what he thought, so, just leave it at that. And-
What does the training consist of?
Well, I mean, the last, it was 2.5 hours of just how to run a board, what some of the responsibilities will be, those kind of things. See, that it's gonna be separate from the actual construction and, we'll all be involved in the financing, but I was gonna, at least offer my services to stay on during the construction period, and anybody else is willing, I think, that council is running it for the council, so that, I mean, a lot of these meetings are during the day, other problems are during the day, so, I thought I'd be glad to do that since the deal's over with. But if someone else wants to do that, that's fine with me also.
Sorry, but
So, but I think, I'd like to nominate Dina for that board position for the Regional Sewer District Board.
I think she's a good nomination. I was just curious, have you been to any meetings yet, Dina?
I went to the last workshop.
So are the priorities all changed, or have you guys not gotten into that, at least for us?
The board itself isn't officially
Yeah.
formed yet, so they're working on all those
Okay.
side issues, but so it was more structurally oriented than it was actual projects.
Okay.
So, I guess I'll entertain a motion. I'll make a motion to nominate Dina.
I'll second.
First and second, any further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And then,
I guess there's 2 copies of it in here. No,
Okay.
one's just blank. No, sorry. Yes, she was prepared in case you didn't go with her.
but this is, I don't know, it seems like it's moving at a snail's pace, that whole survey.
Really got derailed.
I don't know, and we've been looking, I know the commissioners at that one meeting, they want to keep pushing to get us more financial information. How are we gonna afford this? How are we gonna pay for this, And that's something we need to, continue to work on.
I have a lot of questions, and I was just waiting for this appointment so I could be more involved officially.
One positive, I mean, if we ever do anything collaborative with Honeyberries, their project seems to be going well. And maybe they can work with us in the future, so we'll see.
I did give you all a list of your expiring appointments, and then the ones on the second page are the ones that are expiring next in early 2025. So
And on the list,
I didn't know if you wanted to kind of go through that, or if you.
should we do this now, or could we
Well,
do this now?
What the commissioners did is they kind of went through it and they decided who's gonna talk to whom, and then we didn't make anything official yet. You just kind of, for example, if Doug wants to stay on the 911, you kind of know that. If he doesn't, then
Let's start with, whatever you're okay with.
Yeah,
On that
I'm okay,
board.
stay on the board.
Okay. Anthony saying for the commissioners,
I usually talk to him, I can ask him again.
I already sent a thing out to him yesterday or over the weekend, and he said he'd be glad to serve again, so he's on board. Unless someone else wants to get on the Area Development Commission, I'll stay on it. Okay, Meredith, Region 15.
I'm okay saying that.
Mark Denny, does anyone, this is a Northeast School District appointment. Does anybody, I can reach out to Mark, but if he would say no, does anybody have any idea in the Northeast School District?
I have an idea of somebody to do it if Mark don't, but
Okay.
I have no reason for Mark not to do it if he wants to.
Well, let me talk to Mark. I know at the last meeting I was at, Sandy, I missed it. The last meeting I was at, he was there, and he was not there, I'm saying.
the meeting I went to, he was, but I didn't
Okay.
think about it.
Okay, no, that's okay. So I can reach out to him. I know I got his number. Greg Abel, he always gives me a rough time every year, but I'll reach out to him. you know, he's on the Peterbilt.
What's the requirement for that one? Is it anywhere? I
You
mean,
have to have
district
a-
or-
I think you have a level something.
Yeah, you have to have an appraisal
Oh, okay.
degree, or, you know, he's been on that for quite a few years.
Do we even know anybody else? Should he not desire to serve on that capacity?
I don't, and that may be difficult.
Sandy, is he a residential or commercial appraiser? And which one do you have to be to do this? Because I know most people are only residential appraisers, commercial's a little different.
I don't know his credentials.
Let's see if some of these people would not want to serve up, I can email you and just, you know, maybe we could start.
I just curious, I know he probably deals with a lot of different scenarios, I didn't know. Like you said, there is an accreditation process, it takes years of study.
Schooling.
And that's something Angie would probably work better with you at.
Yeah.
Assessor.
And then the most pleasant board here, Sonia, would you want to stay on?
I'll stay on that, yes, thanks.
So the next sheet, Dan Cullen, that's for economic development. I mean, I see him once in a while, but I can,
I don't mind reaching out to him.
do you want to?
Right. I'll do it.
Okay, Mark Schmidt, he ends, this is this. It says, last time, this was a little bit confusing, because I thought this city of Jasper appointed him, but it says the council.
I think you guys appoint them, but they do the forms, we don't have them.
Okay. I can talk to Mark Schmidt again. And then the sewer district, these guys got, well, that's a short term, and that's not even a full, is that only a year each time, huh?
I think they went to stagger them or something, so the first ones were,
Okay. So we can catch those guys at the meeting tomorrow night. You know,
Right.
and we can ask them. Okay, sounds good. Questions on that, or?
and then we'll have them at, I didn't know if you wanted them at the next meeting, or if you want them at your December meeting. I mean, you just kind of have to tell us when to have the forms ready, if you kind of let us know.
Why don't we do it the first week of the meeting in December, if that's okay?
Probably be better, then next time you can come back.
Because some of them don't expire till January. But we can go ahead and do the work.
And that would be December 16th meeting.
So, months are flying. Okay, additional appropriation. First one here, St. Charles Maintenance. I think I sent out an email to everyone. You know, Sean Warner was they got into tearing up the old 911 area, had mold in the ductwork.
Right.
So we had really no choice. We couldn't hardly wait to this meeting to get this going, because I think he's got it bait. I was out there late last week, and he's got it pretty well done. So, you know, he had a quote there. I know this is something we don't want to declare emergency for every kind of expenditure, but it just turned out that way. So I guess I need additional appropriation of $9,000 for the St. Charles. It's really the health care, but it's the building.
Need a motion?
It's an additional appropriation for $9,000
So what fund is that?
from the St. Charles Maintenance Fund.
Oh, okay.
So you need a motion?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion for that 9,000.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, Dina's second. Brian and Dina seconded. Further discussion? If anybody gets a chance to go out there and look at that, it's a pretty impressive little training room that they built out of that. So
Yeah, that's good.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I think we'll be very happy there.
I need an explanation on this next one.
The
Transition program.
Wyatt was here last meeting to talk about the gut furniture with the community transition to do that one room.
Okay.
Yeah, because we discussed the vendor and you want to keep it the same.
Use the same vendor. The business environment.
Business environments, okay. So any questions on that then? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve the $12,982. I'll make a motion to do it.
I'll second.
Ryan seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
In the commissioner's budget, we are short insurance again. I think if you remember when I asked for the money last time, I told you we might be still short, and we are. So 10,000 in the commissioner's building insurance and liability.
Do we want an animal disposal? Did you got that 15?
I have them separate.
For each one of them.
Yep.
Okay, liability insurance. Any questions on that for $10,000?
Make a motion to approve 10,000.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion. I have a second.
I'll second.
Sonia second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, then the animal disposal. That's, I guess it's got to be followed that, it's in the commissioners meeting, I guess this is out at the Dogwood Animal Clinic, isn't it? That
Yeah.
has to pay this. So I think you guys want.
When Humane Society can't take the strays, the Dogwood Animal Clinic holds them, and then they are holding them for 5 extra days versus what they were, and then they also do flea tick medicine for them, so it's costing them a little bit more money. So
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Okay, Doug has made a motion.
Second.
Ryan is second. Further
who
discussion?
made the first one?
I did.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
It says animal disposal, but it's really, we're gonna change that to animal control.
Thanks.
That's
That-
good.
that sounds-
I mean,
that I made. Did we wrong?
That's kind of how it used to be called, because if they had to, they'd euthanize them, but now they work with Humane Society, so we're changing those terminologies in the future.
Sounds better.
I like it. Thank you.
Okay, and, I guess
In the highway, Steve Burke had sent you a letter. He could not be here this evening. He had his surgery. Donnie had an appointment, and so I had them write you a letter.
Yes.
I think you guys all got that. So, the highway fund in the restricted, $43,000. For the final purchases of the year, which includes the 4 Mohawk lifts, which the lift in the garage was failing, and it's been there since the 60s. So now they're getting a lift that all 4 go up and down at the same time, and it's more mobile.
Discussion on that.
I'll make a motion.
Doug has made a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
Meredith second. In favor, discussion, further discussion. Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? So that's 43,000.
The next is the Cume Bridge for bridge materials. He says will replenish depleted stock of culverts supply at other locations being replaced, also covering the materials for County Road 600 East structure.
Anybody have any question on that? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve that $60,000 appropriation.
Aye.
Cume Bridge.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Sonia has made a motion, and
I'll
a second. Dina has seconded. Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
And solid waste sticker fund, he says, will fund the refuse disposal cost for the balance of the year. This is from the sticker recycling fund. $23,000. Refuse disposal.
Discussions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the $23,000 from
I'll make that motion.
Meredith has made a motion. Do you have a second? I'll second it. I will. Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed?
That was a sticker fund.
Yes.
Have we had any more, folks wanting to change how that works? Remember that?
Like, that was early,
I haven't,
23, I remember that.
I haven't heard anything. I talked to
I haven't either.
Oh, when they wanted like half a bag and all that.
Yeah, prorated
To try and
for
prorate
weight.
it.
Have not heard anything since that time.
I haven't either, I'm just curious.
Did Steve get that truck in North Carolina? Did he end up-
They ended up driving out and getting it, I think, yes.
They did take it
before
over
the
the
hurricane.
But they didn't, they were originally gonna fly, but they couldn't fly because of the weather, so they drove out and drove back.
But the Yalla passed the check.
As far as I know, they got it.
The check's gone, right?
That would have been an insurance claim if they wouldn't have.
Yeah, there you go. Probably right.
Okay, transfers. I think Tammy Hubbard had sent you information about the hazmat, maybe? Yes, no? She's wanting to transfer money from printing and advertising, $4,476.68. Equipment rental, $423.84. And consultant services, $11,299.48. And take all that money and put it into hazmat equipment for $16,200. I guess her planning committee had voted on that, because they're gonna be buying 2 new SCBA packs with interchangeable bottles.
I'll make the motion.
Doug has made a motion.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
So people. Okay, in the park fund, they would like to transfer $1,000 from shelter house repair to dumpster services. I think they need more money to pay their waste management. Since they're paying
This is
for it themselves now.
Any questions on that? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve that transfer.
I make a motion to approve the transfer.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion, and a
I'll
second.
second that.
Meredith has seconded, so further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
And in my budget, I am requesting a transfer from my travel to stationary office supplies, $2,000.
Sounds fishy.
I'm not traveling as much, but we're going through a lot more supplies than we have. And we still have to buy W-2s and 1099s.
You didn't travel as much, or what?
No, I traveled to French Lick and back. I didn't stay anywhere this year.
You had weddings.
Hmm?
You had weddings for a lot too, right? From the conferences you couldn't go to.
I know. I I had a kid get married this year.
I'll make a motion to approve that transfer.
Okay, $2,000 transfer. Got a motion on the floor, may I have a second?
Second.
Alex seconded, so further discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Next year I'll travel with you. Next year I have a conference in Michigan City.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
So,
Favorite. Casinos right there, the Lake Casino.
You can camp at the state park and save some money.
Yeah.
You don't know Sandy, she don't camp.
Borrow my tent.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll take camping in the winter.
Nope.
Like glamping, let's go glamping.
Nope.
That's where it's camping.
Nope. Sorry for you, I ain't doing that. Mike, I have that letter.
yeah, so, Tammy had asked, at the EMA, the new EMA office up there, it's the training room, I think if anybody's been in there, it's an old cell block. And it's really hard ceilings, hard floors, and then hard walls. And it echoes in there. And she had gotten, OFS, one of the people on there is, Brandy McKinn, is on the emergency, LEPC board. And she came up, and kind of surveyed the situation. And anyway, they came up with some sound panels. And for the walls that they were going to try, I think she's got some up in the beams of other type of material, but at least these things would help absorb the wall sound on the walls. Anyway, they don't. OFS has donated it, and she asked if we could write a letter, and the commissioners did something similar, but if it's to Jeff Eckert, he's the senior vice president of OSF. And dear Mr. Eckert, on behalf of the DuBois County Council and myself, we would like to personally thank you and OFS for the kind donation of sound panels to the DuBois County Emergency Management Agency office training room. Special thanks to Brandy McGee for helping secure this wonderful donation and her involvement with the DuBois County Local Emergency Planning Committee, LEPC. It is companies with great leaders like yourself that make our county stay strong and vibrant. Counting on our neighbors to help and support our causes is a true blessing, not only to DuBois County Council, but all the citizens of our great county. Sincerely, DuBois County Council. And I'd like for you all to sign it if you would.
Great, that's
I have
great.
McKim.
That's awesome.
Is it McKim or McGee?
Kim, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
McKim.
Okay, I was to say, I had it wrong.
Yeah, McKim.
I'm on the letter. I was thinking of.
Like the clerk from.
She's got the.
Oh, got it.
This is.
You made me have a little panic there.
That's
Wonderful.
I had a little panic, like, oh my God, I signed it.
I'm sorry. Okay, unless you get something, the last thing on the agenda here, the discussion on the courthouse security. We met, the courthouse security meeting, people met on November 4th, or, I'm sorry, was it November 4th? She's gonna discuss it on November 4th. I don't know, it was like a week ago.
The 18th or something like that, we
I'm
met.
sorry, yeah. Anyway. She had a proposal together for this grant, the security grant that got refused again, at the COPS grant's gone. So she had a list of things that the total amount was, that we submitted for the grant was 74,000 roughly plus. And what Tammy and Marissa is going to do, they're trying to find out research different suppliers and obtain proposals for the equipment that's required over there. So she's gonna have this, hopefully together and present it to the commissioners on that November 4th meeting. So,
It's good because we'll have all these security guards and no equipment.
right.
So we need to get on that. I mean, I'm assuming that she's gonna ask for us to fund this, correct?
Well, that's probably the only alternative, really, since we didn't get the grant. So I just, I think we just wait to see what she comes back with, and she's gonna present it to us also, she'll get us the information. But, I don't know really what else to do, I just wanted you to be aware of it.
Is like the Department of Homeland Security set guidelines for that, or how do they, what do they base what they want? How do they get the basis?
I thought it had something to do with the court administration up there. Comes down and kind of tells you what,
Oh, okay.
because you're really protecting courts.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't know how they came about the plans.
I mean, we discussed, not having backpacks come in and that sort of thing, but, it kind of came down to, a lot of the employees bring backpacks in with their food and stuff, and it's, it would be difficult to just ban them all.
We take deliveries from Amazon every day.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we run that through, some kind of a scammer deal.
Well, there's tons of other examples out there to look at.
Yeah, Monroe County's really tight. You've ever been to that one? They did a big upgrade going on a few years ago.
So I spoke with Tammy this morning, she's acting like she's really, trying to find different solutions, and let's hope she comes back.
I guess the consensus is, when she finds something, are you all willing to fund it?
I kind of feel like we have.
I don't know that we
to
have a
deal with it.
choice, yeah.
Because if you guys are saying no,
Well, and that's why I asked, because I didn't know if we would be liable if we didn't fund it to certain, you got the Americans with Disabilities Act, they got all these parameters. I didn't know if the Department of Homeland Security had said your courthouse should be secure like this. If you don't have it like that, you're kind of liable. That's why I asked. So.
Can we half fund it, just get some of the things and then go for more next year? I mean, it's just questions.
Yeah, I'll look at that list, Mike.
Please find that later.
So this part of it from here,
Sandy, did you pass that?
this
letter?
thing here.
That's
She
the
wants-
pricey stuff.
it's somewhere.
Well, this
Well,
extra
never mind.
security, they want to add new cameras and.
Hopefully it's somewhere, because I gave it to you.
Did you have that letter though? Did you sign it?
The letter, yeah.
Okay.
There is a letter.
I don't know. I see some blank copies, but
Mike's got it.
like, just won't forget it.
That's Tina's job to make sure.
Well, she wasn't doing it, so I just stepped in here.
Did you not train her?
Slacking.
Everything else is right.
Carol would have been all over that. She would have had no clue.
I'm kidding, I go through it all. If you don't do it, I'll find you. I know where all of you live.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't know there was extra, yeah, that's on there, so.
Thank you.
You did, that's nice.
Anybody else want to see that? That's, the top items are really and the bottom items, they want to review the cameras, that kind of thing. That's what's running up to, I think this.
Maybe your question,
40 some.
maybe that's your question, is do you want to do the stuff that we need, and then next year do the camera upgrades, or?
Let's at least try. I think we should. Let's get some. That would be my question for her. Let's get the metal detectors, and what is she saying is a must right now, and then next year let's try again.
It's 42,000.
What do you mean next year? Trying to,
730.
Can't we try that?
Apply for that.
Apply for it again?
I don't think so.
No, thanks.
Was it the one-time
It's
offer?
a one-time thing, yeah. That's my understanding was.
I don't know that answer.
But,
I could call
she's
her.
gonna look at different options like we discussed, like.
The top items, electric wire, like, the electrician. mean, we still have to get plug-ins there for whatever we probably have.
The question we're gonna have is, if you wait till November to talk about it, it'll be December before we do an additional, so hopefully it can even be finished to start the new year.
I mean, knowing that we kind of have to do it, would be my thought, is there anything we can do to help her know that, start shopping or give her a budget or?
Well,
She's got the budget.
She's got that there, is that?
I don't
Yes,
know
the
if we wanna
meeting's
I don't
here.
know if we wanna advertise.
see, we would have to go to press this week if I wanna do the 18th meeting.
Well, I was just thinking we could put it in our budget. But we kinda
It's too late, we just adopted it.
just did it, yeah.
I don't, talking to her, she thinks if we could get, none of this, it seems like has a long lead time.
Oh,
So I mean, so she's thinking we would have it in position even if we, November, December, and then let her get it in December. I mean, she'd have it set up in January.
that's good.
I mean, October is about shot, I think.
It's shot.
You know,
I'm just saying, if you want something for the November meeting, I have to know by Thursday, because we go to press Thursday.
I mean, if she's gonna present it to the commissioners on Monday, I'd really rather wait till November meeting personally, to see what we're talking
And
about.
then we'll do it for the November 16th
And
meeting.
see their feeling on doing these other upgrades. Because I don't know if they're just mad. I don't know if the cameras, redoing the whole camera system is something we have to do now. I mean, I know she wants to do some of it and add cameras, but
Well, I know there's some dead spots, I know there's some cameras that are bad, they've taken
parts and,
parts from, or taken them from other spots and put them in the more necessary spots. And I know that when you program some of the doors and stuff,
So it's not really a want, it's a need that we're already
well, I mean,
trying to get parts from other things, so we're already,
well, if they, like, say there's a camera on this building that isn't as important, they might have taken it and put it over there where it might need to be, I don't know. I'm just kind of going by what they've talked about.
Mike, your total, you had written down 42,000, but
that's not the cameras. That's, the whole thing is, 42,000 is the part that we need to get the front door secured.
okay.
That's
For the jail, that's what the jailers are working on.
Right.
Security guards.
I mean, the security people, that nobody thought that it was like has to be done tomorrow. It's just that these, like you said, that you got four officers, securing the building, and there's nothing for them, equipment there. Do you guys got questions on it, or?
No, that she can not have to have it immediately, but that's.
I mean, that's what she told me. this
Well, she
morning.
wrote the lead time there, it was very quick. Didn't she had that there lead time?
When I talked to her, she said most of the things could be ordered within a few weeks.
Yeah.
I will say, when I walk in that building, I thought, if we ever had a massive court case like that one in Northern Indiana, would this building be secure enough? That was before we had some of the officers there, but I honestly didn't feel like it would be. But I don't know a lot about that stuff, but
They step closer.
we're getting closer.
I feel better that we're behind doors and windows now, that does help. Most of us are, I mean.
Excuse me.
Public comment?
Today, Marky sent you an email with open enrollment. It starts November 6th, which is coming around the corner, and it ends November 20th. I just wanted to let you be aware that you guys need to log in and do your open enrollment for health insurance.
When's that due? I'm sorry.
Open enrollment's from November 6th to November 20th. So,
You sure, did he send that out today?
he sent it out today.
Today, I think.
So if you didn't get it, or if you need, I was gonna make copies, and I thought, you know what, you probably all got it. I didn't wanna, but I can make you copies if you.
Okay, well, see, it wouldn't come through my phone, but it probably.
Yeah, it was real botched on my phone too, so I figured I'd just print it at work or something.
But, I mean, you can look at this if you want. You go to the website, it pretty much walks you through
I
it.
was gonna say, if it has the detailed instructions that you can find.
Mark, did you have anything?
I hate to rehash because I had to step out and I missed one of the items that I wanted to hear about, the moratorium on tax abatements for commercial solar. What, can you just give me a brief what that was about?
Okay. So what we did is, we had one company ask us for an abatement, UDP, the last meeting or the meeting before that.
Yeah.
And what we did is we decided to put a moratorium on any kind of commercial solar farms for the next 36 months.
Thank you.
So, I mean, that's the gist of it. It'd be in the public, I mean, the whole thing would be in the public thing.
Okay.
That's the gist of it. So nobody can really apply, for an abatement on a commercial solar farm. Is that right, Alex? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tax abatement piece.
Right.
And if you looked at the abatement process for the one that did, I mean, there's probably 4 or 5 coming, but only one applied, like Mike said. They just scored really low. I mean, there's no new jobs, and you're basically promoting that stuff with the neighbors' money. And a lot of counties in the state have done this.
Thank you for doing that. To me, it's a right.
Okay, I'll go around here. Anyone else have anything? Ron?
I got just that, if anyone asks, that the Angel Memorial, we're gonna, I believe, start tomorrow, so. Pouring that little stretch of concrete, laying it out, and he's warming it up.
Again, explain where the money's coming from.
It's coming from a grant, so we did get a grant from the Indiana Association of Realtors funded it, so.
Thank them.
Yeah,
We'll do something later too, maybe with a letter or something.
Yep, it's exciting, so they're excited to do a project in the county, they haven't done one yet.
And that's the Southern Indiana Realtors?
It's Indiana Association of Realtors, it's giving it to the Southern Association of Realtors, it's giving it to us. We're taking
All
it.
that,
Yeah, and then Southern.
Yeah, so.
I like the way it works.
Yeah, I'll keep you up to date, looks pretty simple.
And I'll stop by.
Mike's gonna keep an eye on that too, so.
Son, do you have anything?
Not really, we had a meeting, solid waste meeting, last Monday, and I know this had come before us, they were asking about, possibly replacing that Isuzu truck. They still haven't found anything to replace it, they just had to replace the roll-up door. So, no good news yet.
We actually had a Region 15 meeting last Tuesday as well. I think one of the big items, they actually had a vacant position for one of the grant writing positions for more than 9 months. We had actually approved this past time we had really worked on the salary level for that person. It was unattractive, I think, to the point that they weren't receiving any quality candidates, or people would come and then they would leave, really very quickly. So Nathan reported that he wasn't ready to say who it was because there were, that person had to give their notice and, things like that. So they finally hired on somebody else. And it's been this whole year, actually, that they've been looking, for that. So.
For a grant writer?
Yeah, or I forget the exact title, but yeah, the project coordinator position, I think is what it's called.
Alex, do you have anything?
I got one thing I'll send to you guys. The 4-H Fairgrounds is going to do a trip tonight.
Solid.
So.
What's the date?
November 23rd.
Can you text that to us?
I'm going to send it to all you guys. Are going to have.
You looking for a team or?
I'm going to be there tonight, so you guys can play with my wife, but.
I'll play if somebody wants to play.
She would gladly be on the team with you guys. So they're finding ways to make money. They keep getting free grants and free donations. So, hey, maybe they're on the up and up, and I'm going to send it to you.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, that's great.
Maybe they'll put a stairs in by your new concrete.
Get the stairs, maybe they get the stairs done.
Doug, do you have anything?
Nope.
All right, otherwise. Just
Your next meeting is November 18th
4:30.
at 4:30.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. So I'll just entertain a motion to close the meeting then.
Make a motion.
Doug has made a motion, Meredith seconded, so close the meeting, West County Council.
Mike?
I guess everybody's in favor of that.
Yeah, I think so.